I wanted to talk about piano technique this morning on this morning music talks. So there's basically two different schools of thought. I'm going to tell you the two different schools of thought and the famous players that use both schools of thought, one thought or the other, and my own experience using them both, and then pianists that I know personally that have done one or the other. So, here's school of thought number one, practicing exercises. Okay? And then the other school is not practicing exercises, but making passages in the music that you're working on, composite songs, pieces, make those the exercises. Okay? So, let's start with some of the world's incredible famous pianists. Let's start with the best that I know of, and that's Franz Liszt. Now, Franz Liszt was obsessed with piano technique. He practiced exercises daily for 5 hours a day. Octaves, broken chords, arpeggios, cadences, all kinds of shit. He's got a book, Franz Liszt Technical Exercises, so if you're obsessed with piano technique and you want to be like a brilliant piano technique machine like he was, pick up his book. You do that book and you're going to be there. Okay? So, that's Franz Liszt. Now, he probably did both. I imagine difficult passages. Well, there was nothing, he wouldn't have to practice passages because his technique, I mean, he could sight read anything. So, there's good proof about the exercise school. Now, Chopin. I don't think he practiced exercises. I really doubt it. I don't know for sure. But he just focused on beautiful music. Now, his etudes are, so if you want to find material to get the best piano technique possible, there, hands down, there's nothing that will beat studying Chopin's etudes. I mean, Liszt's technical exercises, they do not stand up to, even though he was the best technician that ever lived and sight reader, they do not stand up to Chopin's etudes. Are simply number one. They're genius. There's 24 etudes, 12 in Opus 10 and then Opus 24. And each of them specializes in a certain type of technique, and a lot of times each one will improve several certain types of technique. But here's the catch about Chopin's etudes. The difference is they are the only etudes that are performed publicly on the concert stage because they're beautiful compositions. They're not just robot exercises. So great concert pianists, they often play them as an encore. They're short pieces, about 3 minutes, extremely difficult, and they haul ass the whole 3 minutes, and they're difficult to play, and the most difficult thing is to play the whole thing because of fatigue. So if you don't play correctly, you're going to have fatigue. You won't be able to finish. So that's the real challenge. I love the Chopin etudes. I've learned about a half a dozen of them. I had a teacher from Juilliard. He lived with me for a few months. He said that it takes a world-class concert pianist 7 years to learn that book, those 24 etudes. That's how hard they are. He told me he never learned more than a half a dozen just because they're simply too difficult. They take an enormous amount of hours, but huge payoff. I'm going to talk more about Chopin's etudes later. So, we got Vladimir Horowitz. I don't know what school he came from, if he did exercises or just worked on passages in music. I have a feeling he just worked on passages of music, but I don't know. Now, here's a great pianist that is still alive. Martha Aldridge. She's up there in her age. I'm not sure what her age is. 80s maybe? 70s, 80s? But she's playing the most difficult piano music in the world. And I saw an interview on her when she was a young lady, and they're asking her questions, and she says that she does not practice exercises, that she only practices working on the difficult passages, and she makes that her exercises. And I love that school of thought. I do a little bit of both. I started off doing more exercises at first when I was young, but now I'll only strictly do just passages of the music. Okay, so, okay. Now here's a great pianist that I know personally. He lives in the United States in Portland, Oregon. He's a jazz pianist. His name's Randy Porter. And he's one of the greatest improvisers that I knew personally, that he lived in my neighborhood, and he does not practice scales or exercises either, just music. And first time I saw him, I was blown away just by his ease of playing and improvisation, eyes closed, and a true improviser, and a great sight reader too, and he's a great friend of mine. Hello, Randy Porter, if you ever watch this video. So I think that's what I wanted to cover. So overview. If you want to do exercises, now most people start off with hand, and oh yeah, Oscar Peterson, he had great technique. He did a lot of handing, two hands, and well, we know how his technique is. He has great technique. So, my favorite, Chopin's Etudes to this day. And then just learning songs. But, I don't spend any, I'll spend maybe a minute or two doing the scales in 12 keys. But hardly even that anymore. Now it's just, there's half a dozen Chopin etudes that I work out on, and the rest is then learning new songs. But as far as for technique, all my for technique to improve and stay where I'm at is Chopin's etudes. So that's it in a nutshell. Check out Chopin's etudes. They are, the first time I heard them, I was just hooked on them. And they're my favorite. Not only my favorite piano pieces, but just they're beautiful pieces and incredible with technique. I'll tell you a few of my favorites. The first one in C major, called the Waterfall. Great for right hand arpeggios. Incredible. Super difficult. The Black Key Etude in G flat. All black keys. Great for the right hand, wrist rotation. The Revolutionary Etude. That one is great for the left hand. Learn that, master that one in your left hand, will pass up your right hand. That's the first etude I mastered. The etude in C sharp minor. This is conversation going back and forth from left to right. That is the fastest etude, and that one's, all of these are the Mount Everest of piano technique. In fact, that's how you could look at Chopin's etudes, as being the Mount Everest of piano technique. So if that's something that you want, and even if you just want to improve technique and you're not obsessed with it, you can still practice Chopin's etudes. Even if you don't get them up to tempo, which is extremely difficult, they're extremely fast. Even playing them in slow motion, but if you play them clean, you'll get incredible technical benefits from doing that. All right. Now here's something I didn't think about, but I'm going to throw it in there as far as piano for technique. Hi there, buddy. Staying healthy. Getting some good exercise a few days a week, or better yet, every day. I ride my bike every day, an hour or two. Best thing I've ever done. And eating good food, staying away from drugs, and limiting alcohol. Because mental health and physical health, well, they go hand in hand, so you need them both. And to play, Franz Liszt said to play piano playing requires concentration. And concentration requires good mental health. So And you're not going to have good mental health if you don't have good physical health, I think. Okay, well, morning music talks on my bike ride in Hua Hin, Thailand. Hey, hope you get something out of this. My name's Roger Milker, signing out. God bless you. Happy New Year. This is January 1st, 2026. Bye-bye.